I'm going to use my previous sketches as a foundation for my original character's facial construction and expressions. The purpose of this expression sheet is to create a model that expresses your character's personality. You create a dependable reference that illustrates emotions in different scenarios. An expression sheet contributes to your process through experimentation, exaggerating the eyes, cheeks, and mouth to emphasize emotions. So you are experimenting with facial features. Your job is making sure the face isn't boring. Even if your character's personality is goofy, serious, charming, or shy, their face is capable of a range of expressions reacting to different stimuli. In this practice, your facial expressions should be purposefully dynamic. After all, our own faces are never static. They change according to our reactions. The same goes for your original characters. Therefore, mastering the art of drawing emotions is crucial for storytelling. This guy you see on screen, his name is Red. Overall, he is a serious and quiet person. Because he is mute, he relies on his hands and face to express his thoughts and feelings. Now you might think, hey, I'm drawing a serious character, so his face should always be serious. But this should not be the case, unless your character is literally embodying a robot, which is inherently emotionless. Even a serious personality cannot always have a flat face. Hence the exploration of this expression sheet. For the first few expressions, I try to be consistent with the action. If my character is fighting, or he is a fighter, what are the expressions he makes while in a fight? Expand the variety of reactions they are capable of. Anxious, determined, either to fulfill a mission, breaking a sweat while they're losing a fight, or smug if they're winning the fight, yelling or cursing at his victory or defeat. The first face I drew here shows this character, my original character, Red, is worried for his comrades, opening his mouth, telling them to watch out for an enemy the audience can't see. The second face shows him with a neutral expression, as if he's having a conversation with someone. So a neutral expression is just drawing the character as is. An identifying element of my character is that he communicates using sign language, so I made sure to include a hand. Drawing the character at a different angle communicates a different moment in the narrative. So utilize the expression sheet to explore angles of the character's face to practice consistency. So they could be at a profile view, a 3/4 view, they can be looking up, looking down, looking away from the camera or from the audience. The third face relies on chibi anatomy. If it's a chibi moment, it's probably a comedic moment. In this sketch, he has an annoyed expression/tone because he must constantly explain this little detail about himself, the fact that he's not deaf, he's just mute. I added in some word bubbles to practice his personal dialogue, which is also another element of your character you should consider as an artist. Your character's speech or their style of speaking. Are they blunt, colloquially articulate, manipulative? Do they speak in riddles? Do they sing, rhyme, crack jokes, or curse? And of course, don't forget, chibi anatomy is just a simplified drawing of your character, broken down into their most recognizable features. If your character design is iconic, they can be easily identified with minimal yet distinguishable details. For example, my character has a lot of scars, red eyes, big, bushy, narrow eyebrows, and an eye patch. Part of your character expression sheet, or part of what I like to implement, is little notes or bits of writing that are explaining details about my character. Because again, this is a reference or a model that you're going to go back to as you're working on your manga or you're in your comic. You want to remember these little details about your character that you might forget when you're drawing, or just make a note of what you want to stand out. What is the reason or backstory behind little details on his face, like scars or the fact that he has robot cybernetic eyes. Think about these tiny details and make a note of it for yourself. That's what the sheet is for. The next sketch that I'm working on here is not going to be exploring so much the character expression, it's going to be exploring the wardrobe. What's the face he makes when he's wearing his uniform, for example? Or what aspects or accessories of clothing does he wear on a regular day-to-day basis? And of course, this is where you can make notes of why your character chooses certain accessories, what your character's clothing says about them. It's just practice. It's just a sheet that you can go back and reference. So use the character expression sheet, not just, of course, for your character's expression, but for details that express your character's personality. Like what you see here, he wears a dark red scarf and a black eye patch, which shows an aspect of his personality that is very mysterious and tough looking. You want to learn more about him. That's what I want the audience to feel whenever they look at this character design. Personally, every time I draw a character expression sheet, I love including an expression that I guess I've labeled the heroic moment. So the moment where your character powers up or is about to face down the terrible enemy that's been driving them crazy for the narrative of your story or your comic. What's that heroic moment where your character just goes badass, pretty much? So I'm drawing this character expression with his face angled down. It's highlighting the eyebrows as a special part of that feature. His scars are visible straight to the audience, they're not hidden anymore. It's this badass moment where your character's revealing who they truly are, what makes them stand out as a hero, what do they look like when they're about to enter the final fight with the big guy. Finally, experimenting with a serious character by drawing them with an embarrassing or vulnerable emotion is a great way to capture their humanity. As humans, we can be vulnerable, we can be funny, we have awkward, weird moments about ourselves, even quirks in our personality. An uncharacteristic moment or helpless position is how artists even create comedy or insert comedic relief into an otherwise serious character or serious story. Think of jokes that might be cracked in an R-rated movie. These are those moments. So go experiment and sketch away.